Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Happy Easter. Today's He is risen, or else. It's impossible to overemphasize the significance of Easter. Without this day, there are no other days in Christianity. And if the resurrection of Jesus isn't true, then nothing else is true in the Bible. So absent this particular treasure of Jesus, there are no other treasures in Jesus. So it all comes down to Easter Sunday, to Resurrection Day. So let's talk about what happens on that day. I'm going to give you 5 scenes of just little images that I want to see as the day progresses. They are as chronological as I can make them. The first scene is there's a set of guards over the tomb. There's an earthquake, and angels, and a stone that's moved. This is from Matthew chapter 28. Now after the Sabbath, toward the dawn of the first of the day of the week, it's just before dawn here, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary, and we're going to find out 4 women and a group of women, they go to see the tomb. Verse 2. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone and sat on it. I love that little detail. Then we find out a little bit about the angel. His appearance was like lightning, and his clothing was as white as snow. And for fear of him, the guards trembled, of course, and became like dead men. Maybe they fell over. So everybody gets an empty tomb moment, and ironically, the tomb guards get it first. So they experience the earthquake, they experience the angel, they experience the rolling of the stones. And remember, the rolling of the stone was not to let Jesus out, but to reveal that he had already risen. So the purpose of the stone rolling was to reveal, not to release. Okay, so the angel tells everybody, don't be afraid, which means that everybody was afraid, and especially the soldiers who were no friends of Jesus. That's why they were there. Nobody said, oh, good, the angel's here. They trembled. They became like dead men. Now, here's my point about this, is it's not even Jesus yet. No angel has ever risen from the dead, never, and not before, and not since. So the angel, though he is glorious, the real story is Jesus. All right, second scene is that the guards flee. So later they're going to exchange their actual witness of what they saw for money and a story. So from the first moments of after the resurrection, people have been managing, the aftermath of it, and we still see this. We see that in the guards, and we still see it today. All right, let's get to the good stuff. Scene number 3. The women approach very early in the morning. This goes, I'm going to read from Mark chapter 16, verse 1. When the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and Salome, 3 women, brought spices so that they might go and anoint him. And we find there's a group of women as well. And very early on the first day of the week, when the sun had risen, so the sun has risen, that's an important part of the story, they went to the tomb. And they were saying to one another, who will roll away the stone for us from the entrance of the tomb? So I love this. Let me just pause there. We hear their conversation. We hear their concern that it's a large stone that they're going to have, impossible trouble with. So we hear their concern, and we hear what time of day it is. And this is the sun has just risen 1 second after sunrise. That makes it the 3rd day. So a little bit of sun from Friday, all day Saturday, and a little bit of sun on Sunday. That makes it 3 days. But on the first day of the week, Luke 24, verse 1, the first day of the week at early dawn, they went to the tomb taking spices they had prepared, and they found the stone. Okay, so this group of women, faithful, ministering, brave women, and they're still here. They were at the cross, and they're still here 12 hours later. While it's still, extremely early in the morning. They had no plan what to do with the stone, and poof, the problem is solved because the angel had already been there. So their plan, however, was not for a resurrection. So let's not give them too much credit. Their plan was for a spice application. Now, scene 4 is Mary in this group of women. Mary Magdalene sees it. They probably felt the earthquake on the way, and then she sees the stone rolled away, and it's all Mary needs to run this up the chain of command. The stone is out of place. There's no guards, and something is amiss. Maybe she believed, I don't know. So John chapter 20. Now, on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb early with a group of other women, while it was still dark, and saw that the stone had been taken away from the tomb. So she ran, and she goes and gets Simon Peter and the other disciple. We'll get back to them in a little while. Scene 5. This is why you came this morning. Scene 5. He has risen. All right. So at the tomb, we have Mary Magdalene, who's just taken off. We have Mary, the mother of James and Joseph, Joanna, Salome, and other women. So we have these 3 named women now and a kind of a posse. Mark 16, verse 4. And looking up, they saw that the stone had been rolled back. It was very large. And entering the tomb, so this posse of women goes into the tomb, and there they see an angel. They saw a young man sitting on the right side, dressed in a white robe, and they were alarmed. Everybody's always alarmed with angels. And he said to them, "Don't be alarmed. You seek Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified, period." Here it is. He has risen. He is not here. He is risen. He has risen. So packed in here, there's a lot of theology that eventually we'll get to. He conquers death. He defeats the grip of the evil one. That means he can conquer your death when the time comes. The rescue operation, that's 1,000 pages and multiple thousands of years long, is completed. He says it's finished on the cross, and he's going to soon be on his way to heaven. He's going to sit down in a finished state, and then he's going to send his Spirit to help you. So the announcement of the resurrection of Jesus Christ, this is my favorite part. The announcement first goes to women. So everybody gets a resurrection moment. The soldiers get it. But here, this group of traveling, faithful, generous, grateful, ministering women, they get it first. You know, the North Carolina license plate says first in flight. And women all over the world should have a license plate that says women first in the resurrection. So in so many ways, the church follows faithful women. You know, Lydia being the first believer in Europe, and all the wonderful things that were said to women, the woman at the well. But the one that comes to mind is what Jesus says to Martha in John 11. Jesus says to Martha, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live." So I cannot think of anything sweeter today, announced by an angel to a bunch of women and now to everybody. And here it is. He has risen. Everything depends on this. Christianity rises or falls on those 3 words. Happy Easter. He has risen.